Welcome to O'Malley's Market Minute. Let's get into it. At the end of the day, trucking is a supply and demand business. So what we want to talk about is the specifics in supply and demand that are influencing market rates today. When there's too many drivers, rates go down. When there's not enough drivers, rates go up. At the end of the day, what we tend to look at are two things. First and foremost would be the FMCA net changes in authority. And that's been trending down and has been for quite some time now. Now, it's not a perfect measure because it can include things like owner-operators joining a fleet or those same owner-operators going out on their own authority. But it is a data point that we find interesting, at the very least, to contextualize the broader market picture. The other piece would be whole transportation payrolls. And we continue to see that trending down. Levels have been in and around lately comparable to 2021 and as far back as 2018. So we are seeing a moderation in the overall supply. The question then becomes, where's the demand? We tend to think of this in two buckets. First would be kind of consumer sentiment, that retail piece, how much stuff are people buying? And then probably more importantly to the broader freight market, we think about what is the health of freight generating industries? And we typically look at things like manufacturing and new home starts. So let's start on the consumer side. Recently, Walmart USA just posted just over a 4% increase in same-store sales in Q3 of this year. And what's interesting about the Walmart release was they highlighted the number of high-income individuals, or high-income families, I should say, that are going to the store looking for value. Right, if you take a look at things like consumer sentiment, it continues to drop. When you take a look at inflation, continues to be sticky. I'm not necessarily sure the consumer is looking to buy a lot in these current economic times. If we think about manufacturing, for instance, those payrolls continue to decline. If you read somebody like Jason Miller, he would say that hasn't really recovered from the great financial crisis. Almost 20 years ago now. If you take a look at new home starts in Canada and the US, in Canada, it kind of came up slightly year over year, just over 5%, 2024 versus 2025, but in the US continues to decline. New home starts are a great source of freight, anywhere from 8 trailers plus for each new home that's built. So we look at these things to understand sort of what the total demand might be, and that's what's going to break sort of the ongoing demand that's going to drive those rates up. I don't believe that the demand conditions are high enough given the available supply to bring rates up. Unfortunately, as much as I would love this great freight recession to be over, I'm not sure it's necessarily in the numbers. At the end of the day, either the demand's got to go up or the supply's got to go down. The supply going down is something that you would see on social media and other platforms. I'm unaware, though, of any freight market that's turned around because the supply side contracted without an associated increase on the demand side. Now, you could argue that the threshold for those rates to rise as supply contracts and demand stays the same is lessened. I'd probably agree with you. However, I'm not necessarily sure that's the way out of this market. To me, at the end of the day, the demand side has to go up. We need to see consumer spending, new housing starts, manufacturing, all these things pick back up in North America, because that's going to have the greatest influence on the overall freight demand. And that's what's going to be the catalyst to seeing those market rates rise. Now, before we close, if you're a driver listening to this, first of all, I want to say thank you. It's easy to lose sight of the fact that when we talk about all these market conditions, that it has a material impact on your miles, your take home, and your home time. So thank you. Trucking is by no means an easy job, and you guys do it every day, so thank you. Secondly, safety is paramount. At the end of the day, no load is worth your life or the life of those that are sharing the road with you. Your family, my family, all of our families are depending on you, so please be safe.